having all kinds of people to look at, so I was scared. I was like, damn, man, wasn't expecting nothing like that to happen. People coming out, they have shirts covered in blood. They were coming out, laying out on the front of the building, like laying out on the sidewalk and stuff. They're saying that they had people inside the bathrooms. So it was, and my main thing, I was trying to get out of there.
In the early morning hours, many people, hundreds, came out to this theater at midnight to see the midnight showing of a new movie, a movie that had been so popular and so many people were looking forward to seeing this. But what people who were in there and people who were around the area had to say is that they ended up being in a horror movie of their own, having to deal with this. Kyle, we're actually being moved right now. Aurora police want to move us away from this area, saying that that they're going to actually have to close off this part. They want everybody to move away, so we're going to have to come back to you guys later on.
Thanks, Kevin.
That's the last time we hear that siren. That'll be
They'll
good
turn
enough.
that off.
Yep.
So, you know, we're using the social media to get a lot of information, and a lot of people are finding out their friend was there. And I'm not going to name a name, but we just read a tweet who knew somebody who was there. And I looked on her Twitter page, and it was posted last night, and it said, movie doesn't start for 20 minutes. And this guy says that she passed away.
These are people who are just living life. They didn't put themselves in harm's way in any way, shape, or form. They were living life. They were doing what thousands of people around the country did last night. We were talking about it all day yesterday, that was the thing to do at midnight.
Right.
Will Ripley is in the field for us this morning. Will, you're joining us from Aurora Medical Center, and I understand you have some new information from the hospital there.
Yeah, Kyle, I just spoke a few minutes ago with the medical director of the emergency room here, and so we now have some numbers to tell you, and we have some more specific information about the people who were brought in here shortly after 1 o'clock this morning. A total of 15 patients, 12 of them with gunshot wounds, and 3 of them treated for chemical exposure. Well, we're told that 4 of them have already been discharged. That's the good news. The bad news is that 4 of them are in critical condition. Some of them are actually in surgery right now. And so for some of these patients, it is still a very critical time, a very serious time, and others were able to see their families and hug their families. We actually saw one of those reunions a short time ago here in the parking lot. A man with a head wound and a bandage around his head was able to come out and able to hug his cousin who was here, his best friend who was here, and some other relatives as well. And they all kneeled down and they prayed because it was a husband. His wife is still here in the hospital right now being treated, and their 7-year-old daughter is over at Children's Hospital, and they're praying for her. She's being treated as well. All 3 of them were shot. The whole family who went out to see the Batman movie. This has been a very long night. A lot of people, a lot of family have been here going on 5 hours plus now. And we were here for much of that time overnight with them as they were waiting anxiously for any information, any word about their loved ones.
My friend Paul got a text, and he just said that my friend had gotten shot.
Within minutes of the shooting, friends and family gathered at the medical center of Aurora, desperate for information.
I'm here, I'm not going to leave.
Jaleel Hall says his friend was shot in the neck, but there was no update on his condition.
I'd rather be at my friend's side, make sure that he's all right. I'm furious about the person that done this. Like, I don't understand why people do things like this. It's crazy. It's disgusting.
I actually had 6 friends in total that were supposed to go to that showing, me and then them as well, so it would have been 7 of us.
Brittany Jackson gave her movie ticket away because she wasn't feeling well. She says her friends were in the theater where the shooting began.
As they were leaving, he witnessed a baby, an infant, get shot. But yeah, they said gas bombs as they were leaving, and then just gunshots all over the place. And it started in the theater that I had bought tickets to, so it was kind of a mind blower.
Jackson was in the ER when the call came in.
While I was here waiting to talk to the doctor, I heard the call come in at the nurse's station. From what I could see, there are people unconscious. Go past, the poor guy had blood caked all over his face.
Ambulances brought patient after patient. Inside the hospital, it was standing room only. Family and friends like Jaleel Hall anxiously waiting.
I'm a firm believer in God, and so all I can do now is pray.
This hospital, like many others, has a disaster response plan, which they had to activate overnight. And what they did is they not only called in doctors and nurses and other medical personnel who were at home, but they also retransferred doctors from other areas in the hospital. I spoke with the medical director and asked him if he's ever seen anything like this in his career. He said no, and he said, quite frankly, he and many others here are feeling numb. Back to you guys.